Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Thursday, August 29th. Don't forget, Monday's Labor Day, folks, for you guys that like to have a day off. Yes, I'll be working. So, I appreciate all the comments, and that's kind of the way we had leaned. And I had to research because we don't have the leak down tester. I checked, and Briggs sold one. Jack's small engine was selling one for like 400 and some dollars for it, 349 or so. I'm a Briggs dealer, so I went right to Briggs, to our supplier, and run the number that Jack's had through Briggs, and it come up exactly the same thing, for 259 my cost, but they're no longer available. They've been discontinued. So my question to you guys is, what tester are you guys using now? Because it looks like Kohler and Briggs and all of them had discontinued their hand unit to test to see how much back pressure is in the crankcase. See, the other thing that I'm looking at too is a PVC valve might be partially plugged or soaked with oil, maybe. I'm still leaning towards we didn't get all we didn't get all of the diesel out of that tank. I don't know how you're going to get every drop of it, but I also would like to try that to see, are we getting blow by, and if we are, that's a serious thing. And I'll tell you, a lot of my customers, if you mention engine work, it spooks them. A simple head gasket wouldn't be bad. But we're going to do just like you guys said. It still sits at the customer's location. Is we're going to bring it back in. We're going to start again. Compression. And then, check the valves. Maybe we're missing something here. And we normally don't make it a habit of checking the PVC valve unless there's an issue. And I asked Claude, I said, did you check that by any chance? And he said, to be honest with you, I didn't. So that's one of the first things we're going to check today. So what are we talking about today? Talking about what happens when you floor plan. And what's the difference between a floor planning dealer and what are their challenges? What are they up against? So stay tuned. Alrighty, so welcome back. If you didn't already know it, my name is Eric, and this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Thursday, the 29th, almost the end of the month. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about what are the problems with floor planning, and what can you get yourself into that's a never-ending cycle, okay? And that is old stock. Not old stock, but for you guys that don't know what floor planning is when you sign an agreement with Cup Cadet, whatever dealership you are, John Deere. John Deere might be a little bit differently, but Simplicity, each one of them, there's a floor plan for it, all right? And most times, they don't like the floor plan competition. So a lot of guys will do like the MTD, which includes Cup Cadet. So you got the MTD, Cup Cadet, Troy Built, that line. And you have different levels, okay? I'm a Cup Cadet MTD dealer, okay? I'm a non-stocking dealer. And what does that mean? That means that I don't stock any of their equipment. And by not stocking, I don't get a better percentage discount than one that is stocking quite a few, right? And used to be, used to be, is, you had territories set up, and you were given that territory, and you were given X number of units to sell, okay? That was the dealership for that manufacturer. And whatever you didn't sell, you could send back, okay? And the way it kind of worked was kind of like a car dealership type thing, but even that's changed, I guess. But it used to be you could take and have, let's say, 20 units, 5 of each kind, all right? So you got 4 different kinds. If you sell out of the one kind, you can order more in. If one of those kinds doesn't sell one, you can send those back to maybe a dealer that is looking for them. But you pay for it as you go. They give you the stuff, the equipment, and then, after so long of a period, you either have to start paying like interest on it, or you need to send it back. That's all changed, and it has been for quite a number of years. GE Finance jumped in quite a number of years ago in the lawn and garden sector. And what they decided between the manufacturer and GE was, manufacturers like, well, we want to sell our product, right? And GE was more than willing to offer a lease type thing. It was a loan, a lease. And you would pick out how many different mowers you wanted, snowblowers and so forth, right? And you would physically take out a loan with GE. The manufacturer gets paid off the minute you get your stuff. Whereas before, the manufacturer would be holding to, hopefully you would sell that. Now you are stuck with those. You own them. You physically own them. But they're also a little differently. You have so many months to sell those units, all right, and put the money back into that account. And after so many months, now you're going to start making payments and interest payments on it, right? And if you have a good year, that's great, because you're bringing in more units, selling more units, etc. But the goal is at the end of the year to end up with 0 units on the lot to get ready for the following year. Your new floor plan. And a lot of times, let's say, coming out of COVID was a smashing year. Everybody was buying because they thought, what the hell, I'm probably going to be dead anyways. But people were being stupid, and dealers were actually raising the prices above what list price was because of supply and demand. I don't believe in that, but that's the way it was. And all the dealers sold out, and the dealers couldn't get anything in. Nada. So they were putting in orders like, come on, we need the new stock so we can sell that. Fast forwarded a couple more years, and now manufacturers have caught up. And manufacturers have fulfilled those orders. And now dealers are sitting with a lot of units on their yard that did not sell. And not only did not sell, some of them, you would think that if you're a stocking dealer, you're getting fresh stuff coming in. So whatever's being made this winter for lawn and garden, you'll get it in the spring. And that wasn't the case. They started going back 2-3 year old machines and selling them as new, which they still were new, but they're 2 years old. And to get rid of their inventory that they had built up by coming back online. One of the things that I noticed the other day when I went out for a drive, not for a drive, but we went out to deliver 2 heifers that I had sold to a friend, was one of the Cub Cadet dealers in the village we went through. He's not huge. He put up a new building and stuff like that. But I bet you I counted over 100 riders still in crates, still stacked with plastic on them. Over 100. And I would be surprised if that business sold 100 in a year. And see, the thing you got to watch out for too is every year it becomes more prevalent is that people are buying whole goods, riding lawnmowers online and saving money and shipped to their door. Now, do they have to put it together? Yeah, you have to put the wheels back on it most times and the deck and this and that. Where if you go to a dealer, the dealer has it all prepped and ready for you to go mow grass, right? And they'll show you how to use it. And I think if you guys go back far enough to one of my videos of the lady that ordered the Troy-built pony off from Amazon, there was a winner. You know, she'd never had anything to do with lawnmower before. She bought this little piece of property, it looked like a hayfield, with rocks. She had one of the Amish-built tiny houses. And she was just constantly having problems with this lawnmower. And it's because of what she was trying to do with it and how she put it together. See, that's one of the pitfalls that I see of people ordering whole goods like that online. Is nobody's there to show you how and to make sure that it's correctly set up the way it should be. And you're going to pay for that. I'm willing to pay for that. Even with being an experienced person, I like the in-person and the dealership that's got my back, that wants my business, that understands that I am a stakeholder and they want me to come back every year or every so many years when I get ready to upgrade to a newer one. But the biggest reason I like your local dealers is they take the time to show you how to use it. I don't see that much with big box stores. They'll sell you anything they have. But a lot of times the people that are selling those units do not have the experience. They've read the manuals on it so they can talk the talk, but when it comes to walking the walk, they don't know. So if they don't know, then the person buying it really doesn't know. And the things that scare me are like chainsaws. Even the battery-operated chainsaws, folks, it can kill. It can maim. And if you're not wearing the protective gear, which a lot of people don't because they say, oh, it's just a battery-operated chainsaw. I don't care. You still have that chain that is sharp. And you have the power from that battery. It will cut you. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. But that brings us back to the dealers. And I went the other direction. And there's a Husqvarna, whatever way you want to pronounce it. And they're in the same situation. They have a lot of units still created that are sitting there that they did not sell this year. They're brand new. I mean, they're undercover and stuff like that. As far as, plastic and everything. But they're behind the 8 ball. If you are a floor planning dealer out there, leave in the comments for the rest of us. How are you doing? I know that during coming out of COVID, it cleared a lot of old stock, a lot of inventory out so that you didn't have anything. And I know of dealers that were trying to buy used and selling it for new price because you just couldn't get good quality pieces of equipment. Did you fall into that trap? If that was one of you, did you sell out and then try to order more back and you couldn't get it, so you tried another order to get them in, and then did the manufacturer send you both orders that you ordered, and now you're stuck? I'd like to hear more from the dealers themselves, if you're one of them. Again, I don't do floor planning. I'm not against floor planning. It's not for me. I am in the wilderness up here. If I was on a main, state route, highway, where it gets a lot of traffic, maybe. But for where I'm at and the age that I'm at, I'm not interested in trying to bankroll 100, 200, 300,000 in inventory that I may not sell. Well, on that note, you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning. We end up getting 2 more cows loaded yesterday. I'm going to try to get a couple more today. Just Claude and I. And we had Sparky is our big steer. He's got to be around 1,300. And Claude is scared of it, which you should be scared of them all, I guess. But I've raised him since he was just a baby. And he's just sitting there chewing his cud, looking at Claude like, what are you guys, I'm not getting on that trailer. So I had corralled, around 15. I thinned them down to a 9. There were 3 more in there that I thought might better stay because their babies were still here. I mean, the babies are old enough. They're eating grass and hay and stuff like that. But they get that milk still, right? So I told Claude, I said, those 3 we can sort out. And those 3 didn't want to come out. And like I told Claude, I said, there's no way we're going to fit 9 on that trailer. Not cows. Smaller animals, maybe. But not full-size cows. So we tried it a couple times, and we finally got 2 onto the trailer, into the front compartment, and I locked it. And we tried moving Sparky to get him and a couple of the other ones to go up into the back compartment. And they just kept spinning around me. And there's no sense in trying to take a 175-pound man and put it in front of a 1,300-pound steer and think you're going to stop him. And I don't like exciting anything, because once you get him stirred up, things can go south in a hurry. So by yesterday afternoon, after we got done putting up round bales and getting them wrapped, all the cows are back out in the paddock waiting for scraps. And we could have caught more then, but they would have had to sit on the trailer all night, and I'm not really into that. But they'll be here this morning because they want their grain, and we'll try again to get maybe 1 or 2 more onto that trailer. The idea is I would like to personally just take the winter off. And why this year? Well, a couple different things come to mind. I know I'm rambling, right? But the one is the prices are never going to be any better, right? The dealers are paying stupid money. And they're fighting with each other over trying to find animals, because the calf market is strong, because calves are bringing $10 to $14 a pound now. I can remember when you couldn't even give them away, when I was back milking cows. So a lot of your bigger farmers aren't shipping cull cows for beef. So now your beef industry is seeing a shortage. And when I was in the store the other day, I was looking at the steaks, and one of the best looking steaks I saw there, I looked at it and it said from Australia. What the hell is Australia beef doing in Price Chopper next to USA beef? And why is it cheaper than USA beef? The quality's there. I mean, I can see the quality. Go figure, right? But the other one is, I don't know what I pulled in my chest or my back, but it doesn't take much and excruciating pain. So everybody's in agreement that, I'm not getting any younger. Take the winter off, get recouped, get back into good shape, and figure out what's going on with the pains here in the chest and in the back. And then the market's going to straighten itself out and the prices will drop. And then just tuck that money and then buy replacements back next summer. I've got the feed if I want to grab them next summer, and I've also got the feed that I can sell for this year. But in the end, if I end up with 10 mama cows and 10 calves, I'm okay with that. But the issue I've got is if there's one or two animals out there, I might as well have 10 or 12 because I still have to go out 20 below zero, start a tractor and get them fed and carry grain buckets to make sure they get their grain and make sure the water stays unfrozen. So that's what we're doing right now by trying to thin the herd down. The idea is to get all of them on the trailer, but I mean, we got, let's see, 4 this week out of there. Hopefully we can get another couple more today. And we got 4 3 weeks ago out. We just keep culling them down. So on that note, we'll catch you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks again so much for watching in my rambling.